I thought I had it all. A beautiful house in a quiet neighborhood, weekends filled with laughter, school runs where my kids waved at me from the car, and a wife who smiled when she saw me. We weren't perfect, of course, no one is, but from the outside, we were a perfect family, the kind you see in commercials or feel envy for when driving past someone else's home. It wasn't always like this. I'd worked long hours, saved every penny, and sacrificed a lot to build this life. But it was worth it. Every promotion, every extra shift, every decision that kept the family afloat, it all felt worth it the moment I saw my children running to greet me after school. Then came the message. It was late at night. My phone buzzed, waking me from a half-sleep. I squinted at the screen. The sender? My oldest child, a text I had never received in this tone before. Dad, help me. No explanation. No emojis, no please, nothing. Just those 3 words. I froze. My heart thudded in my chest. I didn't know what to feel first. Fear, confusion, panic. My wife stirred beside me, half asleep. "What is it?" she mumbled. I'll check it, I said, trying to mask the rising dread. I opened the message again, reading it over and over. Something about it felt wrong. My child didn't normally text in this way. I picked up my laptop, logged into her accounts, hoping it was something minor, a school issue, a homework question, anything. But what I found was worse than anything I could have imagined. Photos, messages, conversations between my child and my wife, late-night texts, vague but alarming, the kind that only makes sense once you put the pieces together. My wife wasn't who I thought she was, not entirely. I scrolled through the messages, my mind racing. She was meeting someone. Texts of excitement, secret plans, pictures with a man whose face I knew, someone I hadn't realized had been part of our family life, at least in appearance. I confronted her quietly the next morning. "Honey, what is this?" I asked, voice controlled but firm. I placed my phone on the kitchen counter, the evidence staring up at her. She froze. Her smile faltered. She tried to laugh it off. "It's nothing. You're overreacting." I didn't move. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I simply stared, letting the silence hang heavy between us. "Nothing," I repeated. "These are messages to our child, late at night, encouraging, secrets." She looked away. "It's complicated. You wouldn't understand." "I think I do," I said quietly. "I think I understand that the perfect family I thought I had never really existed." The truth unraveled quickly after that. Weeks of investigation, quiet observations, and careful documentation revealed a story I hadn't wanted to believe. My wife had been leading a double life, an affair that spanned months, maybe longer. My child had stumbled upon it, maybe accidentally, maybe seeking guidance, and that message, "Dad, help me," was the first cry for honesty in a house built on lies. I didn't scream. I didn't break things. I didn't confront her with tears or accusations. I planned instead. Quietly. Strategically. I consulted a lawyer. Every account, every asset, every shared responsibility was carefully reviewed. I made sure my child was protected. I made sure I would survive the betrayal financially, emotionally, and mentally. When the confrontation finally came, it wasn't at home. I didn't want the children to see the collapse of the life they thought was safe. I arranged a meeting at a neutral location, and I brought everything with me: messages, photos, evidence. She sat across from me, eyes wide with a mix of fear and arrogance. She thought she could charm her way out. She thought the affair would be enough leverage to manipulate me. It wasn't. "I know everything," I said simply. "All of it." Her face went pale. I can explain." "Explain what?" I asked. "That you've been lying for months? That our child had to send me a message begging for help? That you dismantled everything I built for us?" She started to cry, but it was too late. The trust was gone. The life we had created together was irreparably fractured. The next few weeks were brutal. Divorce filings, custody arrangements, asset divisions, all handled methodically, legally, without giving her any room for manipulation. She had assumed that charm, tears, and excuses would sway me. She was wrong. Meanwhile, I focused on my child. Therapy sessions, open conversations, reassurance. I wanted them to know that the fault was not theirs, that they were not responsible for the betrayal they uncovered. I didn't gloat. I didn't take pleasure in her downfall. But the consequences of her actions unfolded naturally. Friends distanced themselves. The man involved vanished when financial and legal realities arose. Her reputation within our community faltered. Months later, I moved into a smaller home with my child. Quiet, safe, and honest. No pretense, no masks. A family rebuilt from truth, not lies. Sometimes I think back to that message, the simple, desperate plea, "Dad, help me." It was the beginning of the end, but also the beginning of something far more important. The chance to protect the one life that truly mattered, even when the people we trust betray us. I lost the fantasy of a perfect family, but I gained clarity, integrity, and a bond with my child that nothing could ever break. And in the end, that was worth far more than perfection ever could have been.